It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body. Supplements that get you moving and keep you moving. That make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, good evening, good morning, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. My name is Mindy McKenna. I'm coming to you live from Sedona, Arizona. And I'm so excited to be here with you today and tell you all about everything energy. It's a little bit different this time. So let me start out with my story. So I am actually a mother and a grandmother. I have a husband who's a corporate guy, and so I've just been a housewife for all these years. And my husband decided that he wanted to retire early, so he retired around 55. We got in an RV and we drove all around the U.S. and we decided to see all the national parks and go have some fun because we're empty nesters, no kids around. And we had a blast. And then we came home and my husband says to me, I think I don't want to do RVing anymore. I think I'm ready to do something different and maybe do my own dream. So he went off with his couple of buds and started another company. And so I found myself at home, empty nester, all my families all over the U.S. So anyhow, I started being lonely and at home and by myself, digging up worms in the garden and creating new gardens and talking to anybody who would talk to me at the grocery store. And I was feeling sorry for myself one day out in the garden, and the phone rings, and it was my great friend Linda Rogers. She called me up and said, hey, what are you doing? And I said, do you really want to know what I'm doing? And she goes, well, why are you so upset? I think I could probably help you with something if you're so lonely. And I said, okay, well, I'd like to hear more about it. And so she said, okay, well, let me introduce you to 3 International. And I said, well, what's that all about? And she said, you could start your own e-commerce business from anywhere around the world you can have anybody join with us from all around the world. And I said, I have family and friends from all around the world. I followed my husband all around the world. We lived in different areas. We got transferred all the time. So this sounds really great. So I joined 3 about a year ago, and I asked my husband, hey, let's start taking all of the supplements and we'll go in as a business because that's what I'm going to do. And he says, yep, sounds great to me, babe. Do what you want. So we did. We took all the supplements for about 8 months. And my husband says, well, I'm going to go in to the doctor and get my blood work checked. So he went in, he got his blood work checked, and the doctor says, oh my gosh, I can't believe that everything that I have prescribed for you has been lowering your cholesterol and your blood pressure. And so, boy, these products are really working for you. And he goes, well, actually, I'm not taking them. I've been taking these supplements called 3 International, and they're in the PDR. You should check them out. And she goes, well, there's no way that you could lower your cholesterol that far. And he goes, well, I did. This is proof. So he walked out and he came home, told me about it. We high-fived each other. We were so excited that these supplements are really working great for us. They've given me more energy. And so anyhow, I was going to say, when my husband and I got transferred to Dallas, we ran into a friend of ours from back home in Idaho, and they said, there's this great energy healer there in Texas, in Dallas, Texas. Let's go check her out and see what she can do. And so we went, and she was helping us figure out our energy and what supplements we're missing. And we were like, we're missing supplements. So we went and we started taking these supplements. I started going to all the health food stores, trying to learn more and more about supplements and figure out what's right for my body. And I had no idea what was right for me or my husband, but we just kept trying all these different things. And so the energy healer is what I wanted to talk to you about tonight. She was telling us about how we need to take certain supplements to help with our bodies and help our vibration and help us heal ourselves. And so tonight I wanted to introduce to you this energy healer from here in Sedona. His name is Ron Damico. He is a holistic health practitioner here in Sedona. He has helped over 70,000 patients with their health within the past 25 years. And he is an amazing guy. He has been having a waiting list for people to come to his office and help heal them. So, gosh, let me introduce Ron Damico. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Mindy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the introduction. And I love your story about you and your husband and how these products helped you, because that's the gift of all of this. So I just appreciate the opportunity to talk and just explore and play.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on this evening. Hey, tell us about your background, Ron.
Well, I started engaging in fitness and wellness when I was 15 years old. I grabbed everything I could get my hands on just to gain knowledge and awareness of how the body works, because it was something that always intrigued me. And through those years, I just kept delving deeper and deeper into it. And I always asked the simple question: how do we get the nutrients that we need when our diets and our food supplies are not carrying the nutrients they're supposed to carry? So the natural course for me was to look at different types of diets, different types of foods, but I also realized I needed to look into supplements. And I literally started researching everything I could find, everything that was recommended. And no matter what I saw throughout the years, a majority of the items I was exposed to just didn't cut it. They didn't pack the punch they were supposed to. They didn't absorb the way they were supposed to. And you've heard the old adage, you take the supplements that they don't absorb, it's very expensive urine. And that's very true in so many different ways. So the more I looked, the more I was able to refine my search to get very clear on what products do work and what products don't work. And as I engaged my education, I went to college for health and fitness. Prior to that, I went for mechanical engineering. And I just kept going deeper and deeper into an awareness, because I would hear one thing in 1 minute and then another thing in the other minute, and they were always contradicting themselves. So I was looking for what is the truth. And it just kept thinning the field. So what I had available to me that was actually doing anything just kept shrinking. But it didn't ever dissuade me from looking and seeing if I could find what would actually work. And then a friend of ours, Gary Warden, introduced me to this in a way where he said one day, he goes, "You got to check out this company." He goes, "I think it's right up your alley." He didn't even tell me that it had anything to do with supplementation or anything else. So because it was Gary and I trust and love Gary, I said, okay. So we decided to go. As I was walking up, now you're talking about the energy. As I was walking up to the home, the products were on the water feature. I didn't see the products. I saw little energy orbs. I saw literally like lights for each one of the products. And it wasn't because the sun was shining on them, because that's the first thing I looked at. What it was, I was noticed because the sun was behind them, so it couldn't do that. And what I noticed as I got closer, I literally saw that the products had a life force to them. And that is a
Wow.
rarity. Yeah. Because I look for life force. When I work with people, I look for life force and I look for ways to find balance and bring balance to an individual that isn't balanced within their own life force. And when I saw these products were alive, I got excited just from that. And that was before I even went inside.
Wow.
And once we got inside, I was introduced to Kim and I was explained that she was the visionary for this. And she also happened to be the individual that I didn't know at the time that we purchased our home here in Sedona from. And when I spent literally 10 seconds with Kim, I'm like, I'm good. I knew I was in. I didn't know what I was in, but I knew I was game for whatever was coming down the road. And as I listened to the people that were sharing, and I got to meet more of the people there, I knew that everything about this company is everything that matters to me.
Because it's all energy, and Kim is high energy.
Without question. And it is, because when you look at the energetics of things, okay, you look at, we are a body. We have an energy system, and science is showing this. They're showing what people have been talking about for centuries, that we have an energetic system. So they're now acknowledging that we have chakra-based system, that we have fields of energy that we didn't understand before. And when I was looking at this and I was listening to Kim and I listened to all the other people, all I could feel was alive and meaning and purpose, because they focused on the energy of love of self, the energy of love of family, and the energy of love of community. And that is the most well-rounded approach I have ever come across with any company.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
That meant everything to me. And that's when I said, I'm good.
That's wonderful. Hey, Ron, so could you describe to us how the frequency of energy, like when I went to the energy healer, how did they know what supplements you need? I mean, 3 makes it so easy because they've got it all figured out for you, what to take. But how do you know what to give somebody?
Okay, what I look at is, because I'm aware of the different nutrients and the vibrational frequency they carry, I look at the body. And I not only look at the body and the energy field that it presents, but I look at the energetics of each and every organ and all the glands and all the basic systems, whether it's through the circulatory system of blood, lymphatic, or the like. I look at what is in balance, but also what is out of balance. And then what is creating the imbalance? And if it's nutrients, then we approach it from the standpoint of what they need nutritionally. If it's energetic and they need to clear up imbalances that they came in with based on how they were raised, so on and so forth, and whatever the social influences were, those things are addressed, and I address those at the same time. But what I do is I look at the frequency and see if it's a frequency match. Because just because something has an energetic imprint doesn't mean it aligns with that individual. But what I have found with 3, because the products are alive, the way I see them, and they are vital because they are whole foods from the highest quality sources that they can find. And I haven't seen that in other companies. So when I notice that, I just look at the vitality of the product and the individual, and I say, this is going to match them perfectly. This is going to match them perfectly. And then I can say, okay, give that a little bit of time to work. And then maybe let's introduce this and then this. And we see how the system adjusts. And
Wow.
it goes very well. Because when I work with people energetically, when they get the nutrients they need, the body recovers faster and their psychological and emotional profile shifts more quickly as well. And they
Right.
into a synchronized state even more efficiently.
So what product would you say of three would you recommend the most? Like maybe
Oh,
Eternal?
I love all of them, but the one thing I find with the type of work that I do, the Eternal is one of my favorites. Because when we do this kind of work, and I support people in bringing things back into balance, we need something that is going to help clear up the free radicals, as well as some of the waste that is going to be created as a result of the body going through a healing process. Because when you shift the frequencies of any system, the body goes through a corrective phase. And the supplement and the Eternal helps that initial process. And I've
Mm.
had people that started taking the products, I have them take it right before I do a session. And then if they're up for it, I have them take another one after the session. And what I find is that their ability biologically to recover is quicker when they do that. It doesn't happen for everybody, but that's just what I notice happens.
Wow. So would you recommend all the supplements that three has to offer?
In all sincerity, because I look at people from a synergistic perspective. All aspects must work in
Okay.
synchronous form. So it's like you are a living, breathing symphony.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everything about you must be well tuned. Each instrument must be there. And that's how the products of three are created. And truthfully, if you want the best outcome, and in most cases, the quickest outcome, all of them will
Mm.
help the body come back synergistically into alignment more quickly. But sometimes it could be a little bit too much for people. So you have to
Oh.
see what they can handle and what they can't. But that's through my lens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I make recommendations based on what's going on with them. And then we just walk through it together.
Right.
And
Oh, that sounds great, Ron.
it's a lot of fun to play with it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. So, have you ever had a personal experience like I had, or a health issue of some kind that brought
Oh yeah.
to really love three products even more? Or?
I when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was not doing really well health wise. My digestive tract was a mess and nobody could figure out what was going on with it. So I dove even more deeply into nutrition and into supplementation, and it just kind of didn't work. And then when I hooked up with a practitioner, an energy practitioner, that started shifting things for me. And that brought me to the realization that things can heal when you look at all that we are. Because mostly I understood the science because I was a science geek. I
Mhm.
looked at biomechanics. I looked at, what was going on within the system because I understood how the organs operated and I could see how they were affecting the individual based on skin tone, behavior, and the like. And I wasn't diagnosing anything, but I was just seeing what was blaringly obvious to me.
Mhm.
And when you start addressing those things that are out of balance, the body wants to find synchronicity. It wants to be harmonious. And I kept searching and searching and searching, and I was doing better. But when I started taking three, I noticed a marked improvement in my health very quickly. And I don't respond to products that quickly unless they're working. And that's what these products did. It literally improved my skin tone. It improved my ability to recover from exercise more quickly because I'm a fitness fanatic. I've been in the fitness field since I was 15. So I really know how to play with this. And at 61, I still work very hard. Kim just had her Empowerment Tuesday, and she was talking about the core. And what I look at is, yes, it is the biological core when you get into the fitness, but
Mhm.
it's the internal core of what you eat and how your body works with it, where you're at emotionally, physiologically, psychologically, and
Mhm.
then mentally, is all of it coming together well and in a balanced fashion. And three is an incredibly important part of that process.
Yeah, I find that for myself as well. But I also have figured out that I take the Revive at
Mhm.
night and the Purify at
Yep,
night
yep,
and the Immune. I take
yep.
all three of these in the evening. They help me
Mhm.
sleep, and I think they help with my recovery from the day. I really do. I feel my head's clearer. My
Yep.
everything feels so much better. Yeah. What are
And
your thoughts on taking them in the evening?
I love taking things in the evening because I take immune. What I do is I'll take immune with the revive, especially if I had a hard workout.
Hmm.
And then I give that about an hour or so. And then I take the purify right before I go to bed.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
also start my day with the immune to get my immune system to regulate itself more efficiently and just get me to wake up for the day. I start my workout, and then when I'm done with my workout, I do the Vitalite, I do the Eternel, and if I'm on a cycle of the collagen, I'll take the collagen then, and then I
Hmm.
also do the Revive if I didn't say that already, and I
Hmm.
do those right after I'm done working out, and I find that I recover quicker when I do
Wow.
that. Yeah,
Oh, wow. I might have to try that. I haven't done both of them. Like the Eternal, that gives me a lot of energy.
yep,
And so does the Vitalite.
yeah.
Vitalite and I are best friends. First thing in the morning wakes me right up.
Yep, you and me both. And sometimes I've had a very long day and I'm tired, not just physically, but energetically tired because I've worked with so many people. I'll take another Vitalite to replenish what I burned out because I have found not only with the physical activity I do, but with the energy work, I burn up a lot of energy. I mean, I literally burn through calories doing the work that I do. So that helps me get the nutrients I need so I can get all the precursors for the chemical reactions in the body. So my body says, we're good.
Hmm. Hmm. So, Ron, do you have these supplements for all your clients at your practice?
I recommend the products to anybody that it feels appropriate for them
Hmm.
to take. It's not an automatic because of what I do. I've got to be very careful that it doesn't look as if I'm just trying to sell product. But
Right.
I want to be clear when I recommend it to them that I've got a feeling that this is going to benefit you just because of the deficiencies that I'm seeing and how I see these different products work well. There's no science to prove what I'm talking about right now, but when the system is inflamed from stress, if we can get those stress levels down by getting the inflammation down, that is incredibly helpful. And I see quite a bit of people that are struggling with anxiety and different
Hmm.
levels of overwhelm. And when that happens, that creates an inflammatory response within the body with what I've seen. So
Hmm.
what I focus on is helping them not only energetically get that to calm down, but I also give them something, recommendations of food choices that are anti-inflammatory or calming to the system, and then
Hmm.
supplementation to complement and expand on the benefits of what they're doing when they consume those products.
Right, right. That's awesome. So, Dr. Dan, he sure has a lot of great videos out there on YouTube,
It does.
and I watch them all the time. I share them with friends and family and new prospects. And boy, he talks all about the cellular absorption and everything. And isn't that how you come up with the scientific reviews and things to share with your patients?
I do. Sometimes they like the data,
Hmm.
but because there's a level of trust I have with them and they have with me, I share with them what I know that it has done for me and how I feel it can benefit them. And then always let them know. I give them the product brochure so they can see all of the products. They can go into the QR codes. And I also, if they're really interested, because I have some people that are science nerds like I am, and I will make sure that they check out Dr. Dan's video. And I constantly get back from them. That guy is so cool. And they said there's more to him than just science. And I've said, one of the things that I love about him is he's all heart, and his heart drives his science. And when your heart drives your science is golden to me, because that means you're bringing everything you are. You're bringing your mind, your body, and your spirit into it. And when you look at it all from that standpoint, how can you not find ways of getting things to be absorbed into the body? Because you're introducing vital life force to somebody that may be devoid of some of that life force. And that is the beauty of how he operates. And the Science Advisory Board, they are all heart. And that is beautiful. And that really makes a difference. How can you not create a great product from that? And they're proof of it.
Yes, they sure are proof of it.
Yeah.
So Ron, when you're have somebody in your practice and you're trying to figure out their energy, and you've recommended something and maybe it didn't work for them, what do you do next?
There are a number of things that I can look at. One, it is rare that when I recommend the supplements, especially these, that it doesn't work. But what I have found is sometimes it works so well that they need to decrease how much they're taking or give it time in between when they take it again. Because sometimes the body corrects things very rapidly. And when it does, there's waste that it needs to be released. So you have to go through that detox. And some people's detox channels are not as open as they could be. So the process of releasing is a little bit slower. So I'll have them make adjustments to how much they're taking and how often. And then I would work with their body and their energy fields to get that to balance out. And then once they find a little bit more of a homeostatic place, then they start increasing. But I teach them how to trust that inner wisdom that says when and how much.
Oh, okay. Have you been using the skin cream? What about the skin cream? Has that helped with, I use it, and I've been doing the test on one hand versus the other hand, and even the sunspots are starting to go away. So,
Yeah.
I absolutely love the serum.
Oh, I love the super serum. And I will tell you, and they don't talk about this in the company, this is just how I see it and how it applies to what I see in people. It helps shift the anxiety patterns in people, because most of us operate out of survival. And anxiety is mostly a survival mechanism in the way that we use it in this world. And I mean, I can get into a lot of details, but we won't today. But the truth is, with the way the super serum works, because of the neurocosmetic and how it activates the neural connectivity between the skin and the brain, and how it starts shifting the chemistry in the brain, it helps release the mood imbalances. It helps them actually start correcting their balance within their organs and their glands, because the brain is saying to the skin, we're good. And when that begins to happen, everything starts getting happier. Now, it takes a little bit of time for some people for it to really change, but they do notice their mood improves. And, I use it for different reasons. My son has a little bit of anxiety, but he also has really bad acne. And he had been going to estheticians and having work done. And we have purchased so many different products over the years. And they kind of, sort of, but not really work. And once 3 came out with the products, he didn't want to touch any of them because he goes, I'm doing too much already. And then when the cream came out, I said, you really want to entertain this, because I think this is going to make a big difference. He started doing it. And within 3 weeks, the redness and the acne and even the scarring diminished by 3/4. It was mind blowing.
Wow,
He
that's
even
amazing.
said, I notice a difference. And he never says he notices a difference. And that was huge for him. And it started to shift his mood. His mood also progressively, he goes up and down just like any teenager does. But he recovered faster from the emotional roller coasters. So it really made a difference for him.
Cool. Hey,
Yeah.
Ron, one last question before we
Yeah.
end our session this evening.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about this company, Three International, and what really drives your energy and really love
Okay. Yep.
everything about Three? Please,
Okay.
please
Thank you.
enlighten
That's a
us.
really good question. I appreciate that. And I'm going to go back to what Kim was talking about with the core when she was in the Tuesday yesterday, the Empowerment Tuesday. And when she was talking about it and the way she was explaining it, it's why I got into Three, because the core of the company is love of self, love of family, love of community. And that is what generates those products. That is in alignment with my why. And my why in this world is to help every individual that chooses to find their way to the love that they have within themselves so they can live it in all areas of their life. Not only improve their life, but improve their family's life and improve their community's life. And that is why I got involved in it. And how can you create a quality product better than what we've got when that's the foundation of it? And that's what means everything to me, because the heart and soul of this company is we want to make you and your life better. And
Yeah,
because the business model is built on that as well, it is about sharing what this was for you, what it has been for others, and how it may be of benefit to you. And if you're healthier and you decide to do the business side of this, and it financially takes the stress and the burden out of your life, everything eases up and you find more joy. And then you get to share and spread more joy. That is
yeah.
why.
Share and spread our energy with everybody all around the world. That's what I'm
Exactly.
all about. I am not in the garden anymore eating worms or feeling sorry for myself. Here I am on here talking to you, Ron, and other people around the world. I'm so excited to be a part of Three and be here with all of you. And Ron and I are going to cheers our evening tea to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wellness Wednesday. Cheers, Ron. Take
Thank you.
care,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mindy. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Many blessings. Take good care.
Yes, thank you so much.